Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be our first NHL video.
Oh yeah.
Today we're going to be doing our qualifying round playoff predictions. We would do a full playoff bracket, but obviously we don't know how it's going to be reseeded yet. So we're only going to do our 8 series for the qualifying rounds. And Cody, how about you start us off with Montreal versus Pittsburgh?
Starting off in the Eastern Conference, Pittsburgh, Montreal. I think Pittsburgh's going to take the series 3-1 just because they have so much more playoff experience, and I think they're just kind of an offensive powerhouse, and they're a lot better of a team than Montreal, in my opinion.
I also have 3-1 Pens, but I feel like it's a lot closer than people say it is. I think this series really hinders on goaltending. Carey Price obviously has series stealing potential, but we haven't seen the same. We haven't seen Vezina Carey Price in the last few years. I don't know if he's going to be back into that form. For anyone who is interested in advanced stats, Montreal is one of the best at generating Corsi, and Corsi's basically shot attempts and stuff like that. So anything like a blocked shot, a shot that misses the net, a shot that misses the net, a shot that hits the net, a shot that hits the post, anything. If it's a shot attempt, that's one Corsi. And Montreal's one of the best teams at generating those scoring chances. But I don't feel like it'll be enough to beat the Penguins.
Yeah, like I don't think the Penguins are gonna blow them out of the water. Like they're not gonna be blowouts, but I think Pittsburgh's gonna win.
I feel like the qualifying round is a lot like the start of the season, where no one's really warmed up, everyone is really rusty, and who dominates at the start of the season when everyone's rusty? They're stars. Everyone's stars dominate, and bottom line is Pittsburgh just has more stars than Montreal.
In Montreal, their pretty much only star is Price, and I mean,
Shea Weber.
Count Weber, but he's kind of...
They have a bunch of decent supporting pieces, but they don't have enough to stop Pittsburgh.
Injury-wise, there's only one injury in this series, and it's Nick Bjugstad of the Penguins.
He chased down and breakaway chance for the Panthers. Bjugstad, he scores! Nick Bjugstad got a breakaway for the blue
game
line.
last night. He was going absolutely bananas. Look at this shootout. Brandon Peary,
I suppose
Nick
so.
Bjugstad.
Oh, that's Tavares. I'm behind.
And
I don't think that's going to play a big role. He's not a hugely important part of their team.
All injuries are kind of important because I feel like a lot of players are going to get injured, everyone being so rusty. But I still think easy Pens win.
My key to this series is if Crosby, Malkin, and Letang can play like they have in the past in the playoffs in their cup years, I think that this will be an easy win. My series MVP will be the one and only Sidney Crosby, because I think he's going to shine in this series because Montreal isn't going to be able to stop him.
I agree. I think Crosby will be my series MVP too. I think Malkin can also step into that. But I feel like Crosby will take over like he usually does in the playoffs.
My leading goal scorer in this series is also either Crosby or Gensel. I think Crosby and Gensel work so well together, and I think they're going to tear it up.
I also feel that Gensel will tear it up. Sleeper though, Thomas Tatar. I feel like he might put up a few goals with for the Canadians there, but in a losing effort, as I said earlier.
My sleeper is Brendan Tanev. I really like Brendan Tanev. I think he's a really great defensive player, and he gets some important goals. Best defenseman in the series, I think, will be Jeff Petrie. I think he's kind of a stud, actually. I really like him, and the Pens, they don't really got any stars on their blue line, really.
I also believe Jeff Petrie will be really good, but sleeper defenseman on the Pens, I think former Oiler draft pick John Marino.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Justin Schultz. Sorry.
Justin Schultz is a Ducks draft pick. I feel like John Marino's going to have a good series.
John Marino is actually kind of sick. Best tendy in the series, I know people are going to disagree, but I think it'll be Tristan Jarry, because after this season, I think he's better than Murray, and also after the season, Carey Price was terrible.
I feel like Tristan Jarry is going to be pretty damn good, but we don't know which version of Carey Price we're getting. Is it going to be
until it happens?
Is it going to be bring home every award in the NHL awards Carey Price, or bad?
And to end the series, we're gonna do what if the losing team gets laugh. So in this case, if Montreal gets Lafreniere, I think it'd be awesome to see him get drafted to his home city, and immediately I think Montreal would become a big threat because Lafreniere is the biggest draft pick since McDavid, and he would really give Montreal a boost with their somewhat bad offense.
Yeah, Montreal has a hard time scoring there, and I believe that he'll help them out in that sort of way.
The next series we're going to be talking about will be the Rangers facing off against the Hurricanes.
I believe that this is going to be a 3-1 series win for the Carolina Hurricanes. I personally love the Hurricanes roster makeup. I feel like their defense is top 5 in the NHL. And I love the Aho Teravainen line. I feel like they have insane chemistry, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in this series. I don't think the Rangers have the talent to keep up. Best player in the series, I think, goes to the Rangers because I think Panarin's one of the best in the league. But I feel like the all-around team can't compete with the Hurricanes. I do feel like this series will shift depending on goaltending. I feel like that with a lot of the series, we're going to get good Mrazek or bad Mrazek. And who knows who's playing for the Rangers? Is it Georgiev, Shesterkin, Lundqvist? I don't know.
Got lots of options.
What do you think?
I disagree. I think the Rangers are going to pull an upset and win the series 3-2. I was really impressed with the way they were playing at the end of the season. Zibanejad scoring 5 goals. That was pretty sick. And with Carolina's injuries, I believe they have Brett Pesce. Dougie Hamilton is out for a couple of weeks now. And last time I checked, Marty Necas was day-to-day. The Rangers are fully healthy, and I think that those 3 injuries will play a role in the series.
Rangers don't have Brendan Lemieux for the first couple games of this series.
Forgot about that.
And 2 games in this series could be a lot because that could put your team on the brink of elimination just like that. Brendan Lemieux isn't really a game breaker. He doesn't really drive play that much, but he is a pest. You'd like to have him on your roster for the playoffs. What do you think the keys of the series will be, Morevare?
Mine are my first key to the series is the play of Zibanejad and Panarin. I do think that if the Rangers are going to move on, those two are going to have to absolutely tear it up because the Hurricanes are a very strong team. And my other one is the play of both teams' defense. And unfortunately, I think Jake Gardiner is going to choke in Game 5. Once again, Leaf legend
Jake Gardiner,
who blows every Game 7. I think he's going to blow this Game 5.
I sort of talked about my keys to the series. I'll kind of reiterate. I feel like defense is a big part of this, and I feel like the Hurricanes blow the Rangers out of the freaking water there. Goaltending, also a huge indicator of who's going to win. Who knows what we're getting? We've had Lundqvist, who has a lot of playoff experience. Who knows if he's even going to be on the bench? And Georgiev and Shesterkin never played any NHL playoff games in their career yet, so I guess we'll see. And I also feel like Carolina's got a very underrated offense coming into this series.
My series MVP is going out to Artemi Panarin. I think he's the best player in the series, and I think he's going to have a big impact in the series.
My series MVP would be Sebastian Aho. I feel like he's absolutely dominant on both sides of the ice, in his own zone and in the offensive zone. I also agree with Cody that Panarin could be an MVP if the Rangers do win, because he's going to be probably top 2 in the Hart. Maybe he'll win the Hart. We don't know. He's an absolute force to be reckoned with. It's going to be a very close series, I believe.
My leading goal scorer, I'm guessing that it will either be Aho or Zibanejad. The Breadman's going to be setting up Mika like crazy, and Aho, like Ethan said, he's kind of a beast and score some big goals.
I agree with Cody. I think Mika Zibanejad will lead the series in goals. He can score a lot of goals, as we saw these past few years. I love Mika Zibanejad.
He's pretty awesome. Best defenseman, going with Adam Fox. I was very impressed with him this season. He was, to be totally honest, kind of a no one who just shined in his rookie season.
Former Carolina Hurricane, Adam Fox.
Yeah,
and Calgary Flame.
The Rangers gave him a chance though, when he emerged as a young stud.
My best defenseman in this series would be would be Dougie Hamilton if he does play. If not, I feel like Jacob Slavin. I didn't mention him yet. Jacob Slavin's so awesome. He's so underrated. Definitely a top 5 player in that 2012 draft.
I believe he won the accurate shooting.
He did, but that's also a stupid competition. Screw the accurate shooting. That was dumb. NHL, fix it. Best attendee, I think Peter Mrazek's going to shine this series.
I think Shesterkin is gonna. I don't
If he
I don't think
plays.
if he plays, and I don't think Peter Mrazek is that great, to be totally honest.
Sleeper mode, we've got.
So I wasn't really sure who to pick as a sleeper because both teams have superstars and then kind of players. But for me, with if the Rangers win, I think it's going to be Jesper Fast. I think he's got decent experience and he's a good all-around player. He's a good leader, and I think he'll have a big impact in the series.
I'm going to pick a weird one. I think Warren Fogle. You laugh now, but Warren Fogle is actually kind of a beast if you watch him. I love what Warren Fogle brings. I feel like he could be a very dangerous player in this series.
Okay, last part is the what if whoever gets laugh. So in my opinion, if Carolina gets Lafreniere, it'll be a cup contender hands down. That team will be absolutely stacked, and I won't be shocked if they win the cup in their first season if they get laugh.
I feel like I picked the Rangers to lose, so I feel like if the Rangers got laugh, imagine a laugh
Zibanejad,
Panarin. That's dirty. You're
That's-
probably pooping your pants if you're at other teams in
That's
the Metro.
one of the best lines in hockey, hands down.
For our next series, we got Florida Panthers versus the New York Islanders.
I got the Panthers pulling an upset and winning 3-2. I really think the Panthers are a good team. I think they have, if Bobrovsky plays good, I think they have all the right pieces to be a really good hockey team. And no injuries in this series, but I'm not very confident in the Islanders. I just don't see them being a big threat.
I also got Panthers 3-2. This is a very interesting series because you got two teams that play completely different styles. Florida scores a lot. The Islanders don't score at all. The Islanders are very stingy defensively. Sergei Bobrovsky doesn't stop hockey pucks.
Yeah, I can't stop a beach ball this year. Sorry, Bob.
Sergei Bobrovsky kind of sucked this year, but everyone had a few months off. Let's see how he does. I believe Sergei Bobrovsky is a big part in this series.
My keys to this series is my first one is the play of Barkov and Huberdeau. They both had great years, and I think Huberdeau had
Huberdeau's awesome.
almost 60 assists, I think, this year. So if the Islanders can't stop those two, I think they'll have a hard time winning this series. My next one will be if Jean-Gabriel Pageau will have a big impact for the Islanders. He got acquired at the deadline, I believe.
Yeah.
So we didn't play too much with the Islanders, so we didn't get to see too much of him. But he's a great player, and we'll see what happens.
My keys to the series, obviously, Sergei Bobrovsky.
Yeah.
You got to be better. You're not going to be winning this series if you can't stop a puck. I feel like he will improve. I also feel like the New York Islanders have to score more if they want to win this series. They probably won't because Islanders play a very stingy defensive style. They don't get a lot of pucks on net. They don't create a lot of offense. Last year when they made it to the second round, their whole season was kind of a PDO bender, and everyone throughout the whole year thought they were going to come back down. And you saw this year, they kind of regressed to the mean a bit, where they stopped scoring and they kept stopping those pucks, which kept them in contention, but they couldn't put the puck in the net like they did last year, because the shooting possession obviously regressed to the mean, like everyone expected it to. And they're a lot like the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
Because they also can't create a lot of offense. But the difference between the Islanders and Montreal is the Islanders get stops and play a very stingy defensive style, as I've said a bunch of times. I also feel like Rudo and Barkov, that's a huge factor. Can the Islanders shut them down? Who knows? We got to see. Obviously, everyone's going to be rusty. I feel like players like Huberdeau and Barkov should just come out and shine. I feel like all stars should shine.
Yeah.
But who knows?
See what happens.
See what happens there.
Okay, my series MVP is Huberdeau. I think he is going to shine, and I think he'll tear it up.
My series MVP is Alexander Barkov, because I feel like, same with Aho, but on a bigger stage, I feel like Barkov is better in his own zones.
He's a lot stronger.
He's a lot stronger. He's also very dominant offensively, and I feel like, as I touched on 30 seconds or so ago, I feel like him and Huberdeau is going to shine this series.
Leading goal scorer, I got Barkov, who's going to be getting set up by Huberdeau.
I also got Barkov for my leading goal scorer. He's pretty awesome.
Oh, actually, maybe for goal scorer for the Islanders, I maybe put Barzal, but he's not a huge goal scorer, but I still think he has the potential.
Best defenseman, I feel like for the Panthers, obviously Keith Yandel.
Yeah, I put the
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing.
He's not
Keith Yandel's pretty awesome.
not great in his own zone, but he can generate offense. Underrated pick for the Islanders, Ryan Pollock. He's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't think of him.
He's really good, but I feel like he won't be enough to push him over the edge.
Moving on to best tendy, I really didn't know who to pick. I don't even know if he's gonna play, but I put Thomas Greiss because after the season Bob had, it wasn't very good, and Semyon Varlamov isn't very special. So Thomas Greiss, I believe if he can play his game and when he's in the zone, I think he's a great goalie.
For my best tendy, I got Bob, because I feel like this is kind of an off year for him. I feel like this kind of rest will have him bounce back, and we'll see the Bob from last year.
Time.
Sleeper picks, what you got?
I got Noel Acciari. As you can see, if you've watched this previous year, Noel Acciari is I think he scored like 2 hat-tricks.
I think so.
He's like a fourth line player, but he scores lots of goals for being a fourth line player, and I think he was a big part of the Panthers' success this year.
I feel like a sleeper pick acquired from the Carolina Hurricanes in the Vincent Trocheck trade, Lucas Wallmark. Lucas Wallmark, same with kind of Acciari, very solid bottom 9-ish, bottom 6-ish player. I feel like players like Wallmark and Acciari will probably have to step up in this series, create that bottom 6 scoring that the teams will need to move on to the second round.
Eric Halla, I think, is also a big piece. I think he's a good player, and he's got some flow.
You do have some flow.
He'll be a big factor. Okay, so if New York gets Laugh, I think their offense will be pretty damn good. But unfortunately, that's not their biggest issue, I guess. I mean, their defense isn't great, but their goaltending needs some work. And I think if they get Laugh, I still don't think they'll be a great team.
I feel like if they get Lafreniere, the Islanders will be a by far superior team than they are this year. Because I feel like Lafreniere, once he gets to the NHL level, I feel like he'll be the kind of player that can drive play. Mm-hmm. And thinking on the Islanders, who really drives play? Barzal.
Yeah, he'll be kind of like Barzal, who can and McDavid, who can carry the puck, big power play piece.
Who else is really out there creating that offense? And I feel like him and Barzal can kind of dominate for the Islanders if they get him.
Last qualifying series in the Eastern Conference is the Leafs taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets.
I probably am biased here, but I got my Leafs winning in 4 games, 3-1. I talked about this a bit with the Penguin series. I feel like this is a Stars league, and I feel like the Stars are going to dominate. The Maple Leafs by far dominate with the star power, especially on offense. And I did talk about this in the Montreal-Pittsburgh one, but I feel like the start of this little qualifying round here is a lot like the start of the season, where everyone's rusty, everyone's scoring a lot of goals, and you know who always dominates the start of the season and scores a lot of goals?
Austin Matthews and
the entire Leafs team. I feel like you can disagree with this, but the Maple Leafs are way too fast for this team, the Blue Jackets. They don't have the speed to catch up. They're going to have players like Brandon Dubinsky. And the Blue Jackets are missing Josh Anderson, which is a huge blow, because Josh Anderson is difference maker.
Okay, I actually kind of disagree with that because Josh Anderson did not have a good year this year.
So he was injured.
Exactly. So he didn't have a big impact on their season. So they did pretty good without him. And to disagree with him again, I think the Blue Jackets are going to take the series in 5 games, 3-2. I do feel like this will be one of the most exciting series. I think it'll be very close. It'll come down to the wire. They're both teams, in my opinion, who deserve to be in the playoffs, but I feel like just in previous years, the Leafs are going to choke.
I don't think the Blue Jackets have the speed to catch up to the Leafs because the Maple Leafs will speed all 4 lines. It's speed, 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 speed. I don't think they're going to be able to catch up with that. Blue Jackets do have a better defense. I'll give it to that.
Yes.
Freddie Anderson will bounce back sort of like Sergei Bobrovsky did. He had a rough 2-month stretch there. I feel like he's going to come out hot.
Injury-wise, the only injury Columbus has is, as you mentioned, Josh Anderson. The Leafs, Andreas Janssen is out. I think Andreas Janssen is a pretty good player, and I mean, I don't think he'll have a big impact on the Leafs offense, but
20 goal scorer.
Yeah, it will have an impact. But my keys to the series, my number 1 is Frederik Andersen. I always find in previous years, in Game 7 against the Bruins, he doesn't play great. Especially last year, I remember that, I don't know if it was the game-winning goal or Boston's 3rd goal. It was Sean Corrali, that kind of weak flutter shot from the slot, and Anderson missed, and it kind of costed him the series.
I feel totally different to that. I do agree that Frederik Andersen is definitely a key to this series. I do feel like he'll bounce back. I also feel like, what does Columbus have to counter the Leafs if they decide to throw out Matthews, Tavares, Marner? Nothing. I don't feel like they have enough to counter with the star power, especially when everyone's rusty. We'll have to see.
That is one of my other keys to the series, is if the Blue Jackets can limit Matthews, Nylander, Marner, etc. I think Torts, you're going to have to build up a great defensive plan. I've heard from Zach Werenski that...
Did he tell you that personally, Mode?
No, I watched a Sportsnet video, Sportsnet Bracket Challenge. I heard him say that Torts would love to win every game 1-0. I do not think that's going to happen in this series. But the Blue Jackets are going to have to find some kind of way to shut down Matthews, Nylander, etc. But I'm not sure, even though Columbus's offense isn't great, I think the Leafs' defense, besides Morgan Rielly, is pretty bad, especially Jake Muzzin. He thinks Jake Muzzin is great. I think Jake Muzzin is terrible.
Cody has no information to back that up other than he watched it.
I don't look at advanced stats.
He has no information to back that up other than he saw one bad Jake Muzzin game.
No, I watch hockey. I watch the Leafs. Jake Muzzin is terrible.
Team Canada defenseman Jake Muzzin. Jake Muzzin's really good.
Okay, I'm not so sure about that. Moving on to series MVPs. He's also probably going to disagree with this, but I'm kind of pulling one out of the hat. I think it's going to be Elvis Merzlikins.
Can't even say his name. What about it?
Because it's hard. But anyway, he had some big winning streak. I don't remember how long it was. But anyway, I think he's a great young goalie.
Series MVPs, I got Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews, every single playoff comes in, plays great. I don't see why he can't here, especially with all these rusty teams. Snipe some Genos, my man.
Matthews actually had one bad series. That one series against Boston, he only scored 1 goal.
Yeah, he had like 4 points, though.
Ooh. Anyway.
That's 4 points in 7 games.
Moving on, leading goal scorer, I think will be Matthews. Yeah, I think he'll kind of go off.
I agree with Mona.
Best defenseman is Jones or Werenski. They're both better. Riley's pretty good, but Jones and Werenski, I think, they have a better defensive core, so I think they're better.
Up high, Gagne, far side Werenski. Werenski shot scores! Zach Werenski!
Yeah, okay. And then we had the guy last night that got corked in the head, Barzinski. Yeah, he got it on the head. That was baseball. And we're going to show Barzinski.
Werenski, yes.
Zach
Werenski.
Yeah, good enough. Watch this here. He gets hit.
Columbus does have the overall better defensive core. I do agree Seth Jones or Zach Werenski will be up there. Morgan Riley, too. He's a true top 2 defenseman in the league. But he did have an off year this season. I do think Jones or Werenski will be one of the best D out there.
Best 10D, I got the MVP, Elvis Merzlikins. I think he plays like he did in some of the regular season. I think he'll be a big factor in Columbus's success.
I feel like Elvis Merzlikins will also be the best 10D, but just because he's the best 10D doesn't mean they're winning 3 games.
I know I didn't say that, but
because who knows? He can give up 2 goals every single game, but if Columbus only scores 1, I think he's going to be better than Anderson, but that's not me saying Anderson's going to be bad. I think they're both going to be solid.
I think it'll be a very close series. A sleeper pick. Who do you got?
You go first.
Okay. I got Oliver Bjorkstrand. I mean, I don't know if he totally is a sleeper, but he's not a superstar, so I think he's got a great shot. He's good on the power play. He's kind of got some Matthews in his shot. He's not as good as Matthews. I'm just stating that, but I think he's a pretty good goal scorer, and if they want to beat the Leafs, he's going to have to score some goals.
I got a few sleeper picks here. I got 3, actually.
Oh, brother.
I got Kasperi Kapanen, also former 20-goal scorer. Pretty close this year. Fastest guy, I think, on the team.
He had a down year this year, though, didn't he?
Not really.
Oh.
He was on pace for like 45 points-ish. I'll check it out later. Best penalty killer on the team by far.
Throws this broken stick at Petrie to get the penalty shot. They score. That was funny.
That was pretty fun. I also feel like Zach Hyman, also a great penalty killer.
That is a good pick. Zach Hyman's pretty cool.
20 goals past 2 seasons. Very underrated.
Writing kids' books.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Also, Nick Robertson.
He's playing?
Yeah. Well, he's on the roster. He's probably going to get some ice time. I'm only putting Nick Robertson in here because I feel like that's pretty awesome.
He is pretty awesome, but I don't think he'll have an impact in the series. Sorry.
Nick Roberts can shoot that damn puck. Cody just hates him because he lit up Team Canada that one time in the World Juniors.
I don't hate him. I think he's a great player, but I don't think he's
You told me a couple days ago that you did not like Nick Robertson because he lit up Team Canada.
Because he did.
Yeah.
But that's not why I don't think he's a good
awesome.
sleeper. I don't think he's going to do anything in the series.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed our Eastern playoff predictions.
Yeah. Subscribe, like, comment, I don't know.
Share with your friends,
Share
everybody.
with your friends, please.
And disagree with us. Just kidding. Our picks are right, and you're stupid.
Go Flames, go.